What is going on, everybody? It's the France, and we're here for a Monday Night Raw review for August the 23rd, 2021. Raw just getting off the air, and it was another episode of Monday Night Raw with one very, very questionable thing that just shows why if Adam Cole re-signs with WWE, he might as well just not. Let's just say that. And we do have a breakup of a tag team, which, of course, usually I would shit on. But this one, I think all of us have been waiting for the longest time. And officially, Miss Piper Niven is no longer with Eva Marie. Unfortunately, they decided that she's going to like the name Eva Marie gave her. And decides that that is still her, that's her name. What the hell is that? No thank you. No thank you. She is Piper Niven. She will always be Piper Niven. Eventually, WWE will realize that this name sucks. They did it to Chad Gable when he was Shorty. Yeah, I'm not going there, but still. So, that is going to be what we have there. So, the show started off. Now, first off, I started, because I do my review, I do my comments and stuff on mine, since Twitter is stupid. And I had the episode from 2 weeks ago starting off, so I started typing about Randy Orton coming out first, and I was like, wait a minute, this isn't right. But we did start the show off with a recap of SummerSlam, which happens every single time. So, they recapped SummerSlam. Out came WWE Champion Bobby Lashley with MVP, who decided he's going to say that Goldberg looked awesome at SummerSlam. What was he watching? Because holy shit, that match sucked. That match was terrible. It just showed that Goldberg should never be in the ring again. But here we are, just a few days later, and MVP is saying this guy Goldberg looked awesome. I know he has to pretend like that is a real thing, but it's not. It was not awesome. It was never going to be awesome. Plain and simple, Goldberg should never be in the ring again. Obviously, with what happened with Gage right after the match, they are definitely leaving this open for possibly Crown Jewel, which is coming out in October. We all know that is what he's going to go with, so that's what we're going to have to say about that. Now, they talk for a bit, and of course, what happens with WWE is they want you to expect Goldberg versus them again. MVP, of course, at the end of the speech says, if anybody thinks that Bobby Lashley should be apologized. If anybody should be apologized to Goldberg and his son, then of course he said you should go to hell. Now, here's the thing. Damian Priest comes out. And I'm thinking to myself, no, please no. Damian Priest just won the United States Championship on Saturday. He should not be in a position where he could possibly lose a match. But here he is, on TV, wrestling, coming out here to confront the WWE Champion. Why? I don't know. I don't know. Why would you bring this guy out here? Of course, he mentions about how, you're calling Goldberg a coward and his son a coward because they attacked you because you got attacked from behind? Because you used a chair to injure Goldberg some more, that makes him a coward? And he pretty much challenges him to a match And if he doesn't accept, he calls Bobby Lashley a coward, which Lashley, of course, attacks him. They has fight, which, by the way, Damian Priest is actually a little bit taller than Bobby Lashley and can go toe-to-toe with Bobby Lashley, in my opinion. However, Damian Priest should just won the United States Championship. No reason whatsoever to have this guy go out there and wrestle a match against Bobby Lashley right now. If this is the direction they're going to go for Extreme Rules, Bobby Lashley versus United States Champion Damian Priest, I'm fine with that, but do not put them in a match right now. Of course, MVP is like, you know what, you're on. Bobby Lashley, who was in a nice suit, is going to go back, change, come out, and kick your ass. So, they have themselves a match. You can call it a match. It lasted about maybe 3 minutes. And then Sheamus, the former United States Champion, comes out and says, fuck this shit, I'm not letting you do anything. And causes the match to be thrown out. Drew McIntyre makes his way out to the ring. He's done with Jinder. Jinder's on to fighting Mansoor for some stupid fucking reason, but we'll get to that later. So, they have fight. We have the baby faces get rid of the heels, and then we have ourselves a tag team match. First off, why is Drew McIntyre getting into anything that has to do with the WWE Champion? He lost at, what was it? WrestleMania Backlash, if I'm correct. He lost at WrestleMania Backlash. In the stipulation was, he cannot challenge for the championship whatsoever until Bobby Lashley loses that title. Guess what? Bobby Lashley is still the WWE Champion coming out of that awful match with Goldberg. There is no reason whatsoever this guy should be going out there and even being in the conversation for the WWE Championship. It makes no fucking sense. But here's the thing. Unless Big E comes over and takes that championship from Bobby Lashley very, very soon, then they got no one else. Maybe Damian Priest. If Damian Priest has a quick, U.S. Championship reign, Bobby Lashley costs him the U.S. Championship against Sheamus or who the fuck ever, I don't care. And that leads to them having a championship match at Extreme Rules and whatever the hell they have in October, which I don't know what the fuck the October pay-per-view is unless it is Crown Jewel. We don't know. I don't think we won't have anything advertised till October. Let me see. WWE pay-per-views coming up in 2021. Crown Jewel is the only one they have announced, which they gotta have a normal pay-per-view. You can't just have Crown Jewel. That would be a waste of time. Nobody is going to want to watch that on Peacock, and that is stupid. October 21st, don't give a shit. But maybe Extreme Rules, you can get Damian Priest and Bobby Lashley for the WWE Championship, in which Bobby Lashley, of course, would keep the championship or I would say no. But unless Big E's coming over and that they have no one else but Damian Priest to challenge for the championship. Kofi Kingston's not going to get another shot, even though he's not going to compete right now, apparently. I don't know. I don't know. But all I know is there is no fucking reason for Drew McIntyre to get involved with this at all. So we get the tag team match. It goes very long. I believe it does go through another commercial break. Sheamus gets left alone by Bobby Lashley. He says, you know what? I've had enough of this shit. I am the WWE Champion. I fight when I need to fight. And he walks off. Basically, if you look at the two big champions, Roman Reigns, Bobby Lashley, just look at the two. How often do you see Roman Reigns wrestle on free TV? Very little. He was, I believe, in the main event. I think the last time Roman had a match on television was that main event in the first SmackDown before Money in the Bank, in which it was Edge and the Mysterios versus the Bloodline. That was it. So, I don't know what else you want to say about it, but Bobby Lashley does not need to be wrestling. There is literally no reason Bobby Lashley should be wrestling on TV every single fucking night. Bobby Lashley is your WWE champion. Look at Roman Reigns. Look at Kenny Omega. Look at other world champions. They don't wrestle every single fucking week. New Japan might do that because they do six-man tag team matches, which in my opinion I don't really give a shit about. But no, Bobby Lashley should not be wrestling every single goddamn week. Twice in that matter in 1 week. But of course, Sheamus gets left by himself. He's wondering what the fuck's going on. Why did he leave? What's going on? Runs into a Claymore kick. 1, 2, 3. And that is that. So we see the thing. So there's that. Again, Drew McIntyre has no business dealing with the WWE Champion. Damian Priest winning the US Championship does not automatically make him the number one contender for the WWE Championship. The Intercontinental title back in the day might have been like that, where the person winning the Intercontinental title is usually the next in line. That started really with like Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart more than anything. But no, this should not be what we see. I don't want to see Drew McIntyre anywhere in the WWE Championship right now. Find something else for him to do. So we see what the recent happens between Eva Marie and Piper Niven, and stills from Eva's SummerSlam loss to Bliss. We see how Piper Niven announced Eva Marie as the loser after SummerSlam, pretty much ending their partnership. Mackenzie Mitchell is backstage with Piper, now asking what happened at SummerSlam. She says she regrets associating herself with Eva Marie, even though Eva helped her get her foot in the door, but she didn't sign up to get talked down to, and Eva thought putting that name on her, giving her this name would bring her down, but she likes it and says that's who she is now. Next time she sees Eva Marie, she's going to take care of her. Suddenly, Eva attacks with the production case, beats her down, and leaves her laying. Eva says this is the evolution, walks off, and Piper Niven calls her a bitch. No, I will never call her that name. That is a derogatory name. Nobody should call her that name. She should not be happy to be called that name. It is a disgrace to have her be called that name. So I will not say that name. It is Piper Niven. It will always be Piper Niven. You don't fucking like it, I don't give a shit. Anyway. Karrion Kross takes on Ricochet. Now, Karrion Kross has been described as a modern-day gladiator. Multiple times. The minute he loses that NXT championship, what does Vince McMahon do? Oh, he's not getting over. I know what he needs. I know what this chiseled Adonis needs. A gladiator mask and suspenders. He needs to look like an actual gladiator. He needs to be the gladiator of modern times by wearing this garbage. So Karrion Kross comes out looking like a fucking gladiator, wearing suspenders that fucking break immediately, looking like a goofball. He couldn't even get 24 hours away from NXT full time before it just dies. Holy shit, this is fucking pathetic. Absolutely this is like, Adam Cole is a free agent as of right now. Adam Cole needs to not sign with WWE. Adam Cole can go literally anywhere else and be used properly. But if Adam Cole comes to Monday Night Raw, he ain't coming to Raw. Adam Cole resigns with WWE and goes to the main roster. Guess what? They're going to put him on SmackDown. Guess what? They're going to make him the long-lost son of Michael Cole. And you know they're going to do that. You know they're going to make the fool out of this guy. Why? Because he wasn't made by Vince McMahon. They got to beat the NXT out of him. They got to make him in their image. This is the image of Karrion Kross by Vince McMahon. That being said, the match was booked the way Karrion Kross should be fucking booked. This is the way Karrion Kross should have been booked from night one on Raw a month ago. He comes out here, he beats the living shit out of Ricochet. Ricochet does almost nothing except for a springboard crossbody. Cross counters, levels him with a big clothesline, grabs Ricochet for the powerbomb, holds him and puts Ricochet on his shoulders, turns it into a big Doomsday Sayuda suplex, then applies the cross jacket, and Karrion Kross wins by Ricochet going out. Give him back Scarlett, take everything else away, give him everything else back that he needs to be the big guy that he should be, and then Karrion Kross will be the Karrion Kross he can be. Having him come out here, adding gladiator shit does absolutely fucking nothing for him. Y'all remember the Ascension? You know, the most dominating tag team in the NXT history back in 2014. I, one, was not a very big fan of them, of the Ascension, because they really didn't do anything. The only team that they really beat was fucking Too Cool, but that was way past their prime. Everyone else was just jobber tag teams. And the one team they should have beat, which was the Lucha Dragons, they ended up losing to. So, not a big fan of them. But I cannot defend WWE the way they treated them when they came up. Face paint, shoulder pads that they didn't fucking need. JBL, the only heel commentator at the time, burying these guys every single week. Every single week, they were just buried 6 feet under by John Bradshaw Layfield, who should be on their side. And it all led to a Legends Night of sorts when the NWO, the New Age Outlaws, and the APA all came in and beat the hell out of these guys. What the fuck are we supposed to do about that? Why the fuck should I care about somebody like that? Now you have Karrion Kross looking like a jabroni. No Scarlett. Apparently she's not able to be around. 6, whatever. We don't know. But this is what Vince McMahon has for him. Here's the thing. If it was something that he needed to have in his gimmick, in his entrance, Triple H would have had it done in NXT. Stop changing things because you didn't do it first. Somebody gets success in NXT, they're going to be brought up and just beaten down to where WWE just doesn't give a shit about them. And the fans aren't going to give a shit about them. Very few people get past the mold of the mold that WWE wants to put them in. And honestly, after everything that's happened, Matt Riddle looks to be one of those guys to break that mold. Karrion Kross is not going to be one of those guys. Between now and next year, Karrion Kross will not be in WWE because he will be future endeavored, because he'll be the NXT, and what made him Karrion Kross will be beaten so much out of him, it won't even fucking matter. It's just ridiculous. I just don't know what the fuck WWE's doing anymore. This company has no fucking brain for anything. Triple H creates, Vince McMahon kills. I hate to see what happens with NXT with these revamps Nick Khan even talked about. And you want to know something about Nick Khan? If it was up to Nick Khan and what he wants to do, we wouldn't be talking about 3 hours of Raw. No, we'd be talking about 4 hours of Raw. He even said it in his interview with Ariel Helwani that Monday Night Raw would benefit from being 4 hours, not 3, but 4, because they would be paid more. All they care about is money. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So, that was that. I can't even with this company. Everything NXT would make, which is why I don't want to see an Adam Cole come up. I want to see Adam Cole go somewhere else. He would do better in New Japan, Impact Wrestling, Ring of Honor, the AEW, anywhere else, where they would make Adam Cole be the fucking man at times. But he would have a chance to be the man. When it happens, if he comes up to Monday Night Raw or goes to SmackDown and becomes the long lost son of Michael Cole, because you know it's gonna fucking happen, or they'll cut Cole off and it'll just be Adam. Here comes Adam. This company sucks. So we see SummerSlam footage with Sarah Schreiber leaving her interview with Baron Corbin to go words from Logan Paul and Big E. Corbin came over and asked why she was interviewing him, Paul and not him. Paul called him an asshole. We see Paul backstage with the Viking Raiders. They have given him one of their t-shirts. They have a new t-shirt, which looked absolutely terrible. In comes John Morrison from Moist TV with Logan Paul. They talk for a bit, but before we get to that, we have Sheamus confronting Bobby Lashley. Them having words. Sheamus getting pissed off because he walked down on him. And I don't know what this is going to lead to. Maybe we'll have like a 6-person match at Extreme Rules or something. Because it looks like Sheamus wants some fighting with Bobby Lashley as well. So yeah, there's that. So honestly, I didn't really give a shit about Moist TV. It's Logan Paul. Don't care. Out came The Miz to make it all about himself. He has words with Logan Paul. They stare each other down. Eventually, Logan Paul says, "You know what? You guys got some beef to deal with. I'm getting out of here." So they have words with each other. Morrison's like, "You make it all about yourself, man. This is my show." Miz is like, "I don't make it all about myself," which yes, he does. It's like, "I've been doing this for you, blah 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 blah. You didn't bring me out here." He says, I know you were getting ready for your match with The Miz. They have words, they talk over each other, so I have no idea what the fuck they're saying. Out comes Xavier Woods by himself. Kofi Kingston apparently is not able to compete. A lot of that going around because WWE is too cowardice to tell us, hey, Kofi might have COVID. Sasha might have COVID. This person might have COVID. They're too cowardice to say, hey, Sasha Banks out with COVID. She's not able to compete because of that. Kofi Kingston, not able to compete because he might have COVID. Nobody fucking tells us anything. Woods hits the ring. We have a match. This match was just, okay. First off, kudos to the Scott Hall-inspired gear from one Xavier Woods. And it's like WWE misses out on an opportunity to do something. This dude comes out wearing Scott Hall-inspired gear. You could have literally had this guy. You could have used the Razor Ramon theme music, but instead it'd be like Xavier Woods or New Day inspired Tron. Woods come out, do the whole Razor Ramon gimmick, throw the toothpick. It would have been like that's a $1 million idea that they're missing out on. Is that every time they do a new gear, like for a month, they will do new gear, and like this month it'd be the Wolfpack or Scott Hall having Xavier Woods or them come out to the Wolfpack music, but it's New Day inspired Tron. Them doing some gimmick with that. Something different to freshen up the New Day. Just saying. So Morrison grabbed the grip stick, poured the bucket of water on the ringside. He sprays some water on the ground. Miz goes to Woods through the water, but Woods counters and Miz slips through the water and goes sliding into the steel steps. More of this back later. Woods counters and shoves Miz through the ropes to the floor. Woods runs and drop kicks him through the ropes. Woods runs to the ring, leaps over the top rope, takes Miz back down to the floor. Morrison comes over to check on Miz. Woods brings it back to the ring and goes to the top. Woods with the top rope crossbody, but Miz kicks out just in time. Fans rally around Woods, but Miz kicks his legs out and nails a DDT for close 2. Miz goes for the skull crushing finale, but Morrison gets on the apron to distract with the drip stick, pulling the referee away as Miz counters Woods, counters, and rolls him up for a long enough win. Referee missed the pin, but ends up counting Woods roll up for the pin in the win. After the match, Woods heads to the mat back. Morrison joins Miz in the ring, and Miz is not happy. Morrison jokes around and says it was an accident. He's sorry. Morrison brings the bucket in with the drip sticks. Looks like they're gonna spray around a little bit. Miz sprays a bit, but then attacks Morrison. Hey, look, the beatdown, the breakup is finally here. After a year and a fucking half of these two being clowns, they have finally ended Miz and Morrison. After all they do. It's ridiculous that these guys have been tagging together. I've been doing this all together since January of 2020. You remember when John Morrison made his return? He should have made his return in the Royal Rumble as a big surprise. No, they brought him to SmackDown a week or two before. And paired these two back up again. They are tag team partners. They won tag titles. They've been clowning around, ruining Monday Night Raw on a weekly basis, and here we go. They finally got the breakup to go. Miz and Morrison is dead. No more. They out of here. We're going to look at Triple Threat SummerSlam match between Charbot 9000 winning the title again. We see Reggie defend his championship, run away with the RV and everything else. Don't really give a shit. We see a video package of Randy Orton and Matt Riddle winning the Raw Tag Team titles from AJ Styles and Omos. Orton and Riddle are backstage. Riddle's excited about tonight's celebration and the surprise he has planned for Orton. Orton says he's not big on surprise or celebrations, so if Riddle could do him one favor, do not do anything stupid. Riddle says trust him. He would do something stupid. Riddle says later, bro, and rides off on his scooter. All that, and do you think I really cared? No. Should you care? No. Mansoor versus Jinder Mahal. This match lasted about a few minutes. Mansoor wanted no help from Mustafa Ali. He wanted to win, quote-unquote, the right way. Well, Vian Shanky, Jinder keeps stomping on the referee calls for the match after the 5 count. After the bout, Jinder finally lets up. Ali still has his back turned to Mansoor at ringside, shaking his head at the performance. Jinder exits the ring with Vian Shanky. Ali comes in and asks Mansoor what happened. Ali says something about doing things his way next time. More advice. How about we do things my way next time? We see what happened earlier with the opening tag team match. We see Damian Priest and Drew backstage having a laugh with each other. Apparently they're going out for drinks to see who can outlast who in a game of drinking. Charbot 9000 comes out. She gloats and gloats about being a 12-time women's champion, even though I could have sworn last year she was a 13-time women's champion because she won the NXT Women's Championship for a second time, but apparently those reigns do not count. I remember reading that somewhere. She was like a 12-time or 13-time last year, but apparently not. She gloats, she gloats, she gloats. Not much you need to say about this. I honestly thought Asuka was going to come out or somebody was going to come out to interrupt her and challenge her for a match at Extreme Rules, which is the next pay-per-view. That didn't happen. By the way, there's this rumor that we're supposed to get the King and Queen of the Ring coming up and the finals being in Saudi Arabia. Shouldn't we get some kind of confirmation of that? Some kind of ad that coming in September after the Extreme Rules pay-per-view we're going to get Queen and King of the Ring matches? No, we got nothing so far. Just saying. Honestly, with Charbot being the gloating woman she is, you could have had her come out and say something about the Queen. For the first time this year, coming soon, we're going to have the Queen of the Ring, and you know for a fact that I'm going to be the one sitting on that throne. No. All she did was gloat, 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 long live the Queen, she's going to raise the title up, and that was that. There was really nothing special about this, just Charbot being the gloating Charbot. Out comes Alexa Bliss and Lily. Alexa Bliss says congratulations. And me and Lily just wanted to say hi. We're going with Charlotte 9000 and Alexa Bliss. Evil Alexa Bliss, he says the evil is mine now. No thank you. No thank you. How about now? That movie from Austin Powers' villain. How about now? We see how Nia Jax and Charbot faced Nikki Trash and Rhea Ripley last week. Jax and Shayna Baszler are backstage. Baszler is still sour over Jax teaming with Flair. Jax was trying to get herself in the title picture, but she made one mistake. She won't make that mistake again because I did all the work, and Charbot took all the credit. Baszler says they butt heads often, but when they are on the same page, they can't be stopped. Baszler wants to go out and show how they are unstoppable force. Jax agrees, they nod, and we have a match with Nikki Trash and Rhea Ripley versus Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. This just shows and confirms one thing. You have Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler as a tag team. How many times has Nia Jax been beaten in these matches when they lose? How many times has she taken the pinfall? How many times has she submitted? How many times is she made to be look like a fool and made look to be just... It just shows me and confirms one thing. It must be great being related to The Rock. Because she doesn't, when they have these matches, Shayna Baszler gets humiliated, Nia Jax ends up kicking her, or hitting her, or slamming on her, or knocking her over, and costing them the match. Every single time. Nia Jax is not made to look weak. Shayna Baszler is made to look weak and look like a fool. Can you imagine when we watched Shayna Baszler dominate NXT for a year and a half, that when she came up to the main roster, she would look dominant in the beginning, and then would disappear for a while, be teamed up with Nia Jax, win the tag team titles twice, which didn't exist when she was NXT originally, but come up, be put in a tag team, and be laid to look like the absolute loser they're making her look like. Just, wow. The dominant force that Shayna Baszler should be on Raw right now, should have beat Becky Lynch before Becky went off to be pregnant and have a baby, should have beat her, should have won the Raw Women's Championship, been a dominant champion for at least 6 to 9 months, maybe to a full year. But no. They have ruined her. Another sign of why Adam Cole should not sign with WWE. Shayna Baszler. We see how the Miz turned on Morrison earlier in the backstage. Morrison is now, he says, that's it. No Miz and Morrison. Morrison goes on to say he will end this next week when he gets his hand on that traitorous son of a bitch in the ring. The announcers talk about Jinder Mahal, Charbot 9000, and Damian Priest will be on the post-show tonight. Matt Riddle comes out for the supposed to be main event segment. Orton makes his way to the ring afterwards. Orton gets in the middle of the ring. They announce him as RK Bro, the tag team champions. Pyro goes off. We see a graphic for RK Bro. And it's not the one with the stallion, the half stallion, the stallion horse, half viper. No, it's a scooter with a... What do I want to say? With a... It's not even a viper, it's a garden snake. Riddle says it's friendship is what we need more. Orton is gifted a custom scooter. Orton still is not thrilled. Riddle tells him how to use the scooter, and the music interrupts, and out comes AJ with Omos. He points out how Orton has a stupid scooter and that Omos can break over his knee. AJ points to how Orton didn't get anything for Riddle. AJ talks about how he got a gift for Riddle, a phenomenal form. He's going to beat him up again tonight, and we're going to see that right now. Riddle says, yeah, you beat me last week. That was before RK Bro was back together. Now Orton's going to be in my corner, and I'm going to beat you right now. They found Pound Fist, and that is that. We go to the main event match. AJ Styles versus Matt Riddle. Definitely, they've had better matches. It's a good match, though. Orton comes over, but almost takes him down at the ringside and launches him in the barrier. AJ puts Riddle on the shoulder and hits the driver into the mat. Riddle still kicks out, and no one can believe it. AJ calls for the Styles Clash. Orton grabs his custom scooter and attacks Omos at ringside with it. AJ is distracted while the Orton taking out Omos. AJ turns around to a jumping knee into the face. Riddle follows up with the Bro Derek for the 1, 2, 3. And Matt Riddle wins. After the match, Riddle stands tall in the ring. Orton joins him as they stand tall. With the tag team titles, Orton kneels down, Riddle kneels down at Orton. As Riddle begins celebrating, we go to replays. AJ suddenly tries a sneak attack, but Orton tosses his belt to Riddle, and then drops AJ with an RKO. Orton and Riddle pose together in the middle of the ring as Orton music plays now. Omos and AJ look on from ringside as the champs taunt them. This post-SummerSlam edition goes off the air with RK Bro standing tall in the middle of the ring, and of course, you damn straight, we're going to get another match between those two teams at Extreme Rules. And maybe that'll be the time that we see Omos drop to his knee, and being taken down, because that still has not happened in the middle of the ring. He has not been taken off his feet completely. We'll have to see what happens, but that is Monday Night Raw. A very so-so piss-poor show. But I really couldn't give a shit. I really could not care about this show. But we will see what happens coming up next week and the week after that. Again, AJ and Matt Riddle cannot have a bad match. It's just these two, like, Matt Riddle's great in the ring. AJ Styles is fucking AJ Styles. What else can you say about that? But I don't need to see it again. If you're going to have these two in the middle of the ring in a match, if you're going to have these two teams tag again, just make it a tag team match and go from there. Now, it looks like Rhea Ripley and Nikki Trash might be a tag team for the foreseeable future, which is fine. Those two should be fine as a tag team. If they want to give them in the women's tag team division, that is fine. The women's tag team division has Natalya and Tamina, Shotzi Blackheart, and Tegan Nox. And if you add these two, that's 3 tag teams, and that's all they got. And Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax, but I think they're on Splitsville coming soon. And oh yeah, I forgot. Okay, so Elias has been putting these promos out that Elias is dead. What does that mean? Well, Elias the musician is dead, but now here is Elias, the WWE superstar, wearing a white hat. One of those cowboy hats that, like, I guess it's a cowboy hat without the brim being bent up. So here's Elias, the WWE superstar. Okay then. So you made all this big deal about Elias, the superstar, and here we are now. And I don't care. Like, we'll see what happens, what the difference is going to be. But that is that on Monday Night Raw. Hit that subscribe button, comment down below, like or dislike this video. Find me on Minds at the France Club, find me on twitch.tv/the France Club, and find me on Instagram at the France Club. And I'll see you guys on Wednesday for a good show in AEW, where CM Punk will make his AEW Wednesday night debut. Until then, my name is the France, and I'll see you guys later.